Welcome, fellow dreamers. Welcome to Northland Homestead. So in today's video, we're going to kind of pick up where we left off from the last video. In the last video, we talked about what we're doing, but in this video, we're going to kind of show you what that actually looks like. I'm going to take you along for a week load's worth of groceries. I order my groceries from Meijer and I go pick them up about 45 minutes from home. That's about what you can expect when you live in a rural location. Not ideal, but we make do. It's definitely worth not having to go into the store and try and find all these things. It just comes straight to you, you pick it up, you drive it home. So today we're gonna do that and let's take you along. We're heading home with our groceries. One thing that's really nice is that every time we show up, now they're never out of anything. There's no substitutions or anything like that because we're just getting ingredients, and the grocery store is always really going to have those ingredients. So that's one really nice thing about being an ingredient family, is you never really have to worry about not getting what you ordered. Grocery store. We have all of our groceries laid out here. I apologize for the half wall here. This is going to be coming up in one of our upcoming videos. We have started with peel and stick wallpaper, and we're going to continue this all the way through the dining room. But for now, it's just kind of half up, so we'll get to it. But back to the groceries. So we have 3 containers of 24 count eggs. Now, that sounds like a lot, and I'm sure it is to some people, but we go through a lot of eggs in this house, mostly because I do a lot of cooking in bulk. So like I've talked in previous videos, I make a lot of brownies and breakfast casseroles and things like that in bulk, and they require a lot of eggs. So when I make 2 things of brownies, that takes 8 eggs. So as you can see, the eggs would go pretty quick with making multiple things. So I'm gonna need quite a bit of those. I also bought 2 things of Bob Evans 2-pound sausages. Now, I didn't technically need 2. I typically only use about 1, if that, per week, but these were on sale. And if something that you buy regularly is on sale, go ahead and buy multiple and freeze it. So I'm gonna probably keep 1 in the fridge and then freeze the other. Same goes for the bacon. So I already had some in my refrigerator, I didn't need any more, but again, it was on sale, so I'm gonna go ahead and freeze these and have them on hand at a cheaper price. I also bought a 5-pound roll of beef. We use this for tacos, burgers, meatloaf, anything like that, so it's good to have on hand. And I think if you buy the 1-pound rolls, it's like $5, I want to say, for 1 pound, whereas this I think was like $17.99 for a whole 5 pounds, so much cheaper to buy it in bulk like that. And it's really simple. If you want to go ahead and have 1-pound rolls on hand, go ahead and divide that into 5, put it in a Ziploc baggie, and there you go. Same thing, but cheaper. So going along with the meat, I also bought these chicken tenders, which are, I think I bought 4 of them, which were, again, on sale. Don't need this many. I'd probably only normally buy about 2 for the week, but again, that would be great to freeze. So think that's it for, oh, there's a few more meat items. I also got this little boneless ham, which I'm going to go ahead and cook and then shave into thin slices that we can have on sandwiches for lunchtime. And then I also got this roast. I typically buy this when I want to make a roast, but I wasn't really planning to make one this week, but it was on sale. So I'm going to go ahead and freeze this, and then we'll have it when we do want it at a cheaper price. So now we'll kind of go to the dairy products. I have 2 logs of mozzarella cheese. This is also really easy to freeze and will freeze beautifully like this. But I use this for pizzas or spaghetti or something that I'm going to top it with. So I like to have these on hand as well. I still buy Kraft singles. I don't know that I will always buy this. This is sort of one of those things where it evolves with time. What I do right now, I probably won't always do, but I just kind of like these for our burgers and grilled cheese sandwiches and stuff like that. I might get to the point where I go ahead and use the blocks of cheese and don't use these, but I just find that they melt so much better than the other kind. So again, I might not repurchase these. I need to do more research on whether or not these are kind of safe to eat or not. Probably not. I'm gonna assume that. So I buy Colby Jack cheese in block form instead of pre-shredded, because one thing I've learned is that they coat the pre-shredded cheese in some sort of coating that I don't want to consume. So I buy it in block form and go ahead and shred it myself. It really isn't that hard to do for yourself. Alright, and then I also got these little packages of pepperonis. I didn't need to, but again, it was on sale, so I'm going to go ahead and get that for pizzas when we make them. I also buy in bulk butter because I go through quite a bit of these, especially when I make brownies. A thing of brownies requires 2 sticks, and I make, like I said, at least 2 to 3. So you go through one of these boxes really quickly. So I put these in the freezer, and they freeze really well. I also got a 5-pound bag of bread flour. I've recently learned that bread flour works better when I make my loaves of bread because it makes them hold their shape better. When I make my bread, it kind of gets kind of crumbly, but with bread flour, it stays firm better. And then I also got an organic red onion for topping sandwiches and things like that. 10 bananas. I got a thing of the clementine oranges. Ethan really likes to snack on these especially. And 2 bags of Honeycrisp apples, 1 for the fridge and 1 for our basket because our little guy likes them cold. I also bought 3 gallons of skim milk and 3 gallons of vitamin D milk. Our sons drink the vitamin D, and I also cook with the vitamin D. But Ethan and I prefer to drink skim milk, so that's why I have 2 different kinds. I also bought a gallon of chocolate milk. Now this is something I normally would not purchase for the homestead, but I went ahead and got it because one of my sons, my oldest son, he was complaining about not having any special treats, and this has been a little bit of a hard adjustment for him. So I went ahead and got him a gallon as a special treat, just because he's doing really well with all of this other stuff. I want to still give him a treat if it's really important to him. Now, hopefully we'll be weaning him off of this more and more, but through the adjustment period, he kind of needed this, so that's for him. I also picked up a 5-pound bag of potatoes. This is great for mashed potatoes and baked potatoes and lots of other things that we use potatoes for. A little thing of baby carrots. This is especially good for my littlest guy. He doesn't really like to eat a lot of variety of vegetables, but he will eat these. I also got a green pepper and a red pepper. I don't really have a plan for those right now, but that's such a staple item that I feel like I'll definitely find some use for it. And I also got 6 ears of corn, just a summertime staple. We absolutely love corn, all except for our youngest, and that will definitely be enjoyed and loved. I also went ahead and picked up some Smirnoffs for Ethan and I. This is a summertime treat that we don't always get. This is a pretty, I would say, rare treat. Ethan and I are not big drinkers. We probably only drink once a month, if that, honestly. So this will definitely last quite a while, but it's a nice little summertime treat because they only bring out the blue flavor, I think, in the summertime. So yeah, just a nice summertime treat. And one thing I still regularly get is my Aquafina bottled water. I don't have a refrigerator refrigerator with the spout that has the water and ice that comes out in the dispenser. I wish I did. If I did, I probably wouldn't have to rely on this so much. But I am an avid water drinker. I always have been. I just absolutely love water. I get it from my dad, and I can't go with the Brita filtered pitcher. I just cannot be counted on to keep filling that up in enough quantity for how much I drink it. So I still rely on the bottled water. Maybe eventually I'll get off of it, but for now, it's just a staple that I have to have. Share with you some things I order from Costco, because some things I get from Meijer, some things I need in bulk. Some of those things is honey. Definitely with making bread and dough items, you definitely need a lot of honey. So I need that in bulk. Also, in that same vein, is yeast. You're going to go through a lot of yeast if you're making a lot of dough-based products. So this is a 32 ounce or 2 pounds worth of yeast. I also got a thing of organic maple syrup. So I'm really trying to transition away from more processed things, even when it's, you know, in more of a whole form, into organic. Even like I got the organic red onion. So I'm really trying to transition more to organic. So that's another item. More things I get from Costco is pure vanilla extract. So when you order pure vanilla extract, you actually get 2 bottles. And these are 16 fluid ounces each. So this will definitely last a lot longer. And again, I use a lot of vanilla extract with my baked goods. So I'm gonna need that. I also get things of like albacore tuna in large quantity, and Worcestershire sauce. Because if you've seen some of my previous cooking, you'll know already that I love Worcestershire. I also like to get in bulk organic chicken stock. You can get, I think, a 6 count of these from Costco for a pretty reasonable price as well. So I like to get that in bulk as well. As you can see from some of our other items, I still have some like Kraft mac and cheese that I bought from Costco. I think it was like an 18 count, so I still have some of these. This was from months ago. So we're still going to be using some things up that I wouldn't normally be repurchasing, like this pancake mix. Now I would definitely be just making my own waffle mix and have been, but we'll use this up eventually because I'm not going to waste it. But there's plenty of things in here that I won't be repurchasing, but we're going to get through. But there's still a lot of items from Costco that I really do want to get, like this pure vanilla extract. So it's still worth having the Costco membership. So now we're in my pantry, and this is going to be where I have some of my other Costco goods. One of them is this big old bag of chocolate chips. So when I make brownies, I melt down chocolate chips to get the batter. And I also use these for chocolate chip cookies and obviously things like that. So again, I like to have this in bulk. As well as my big old flour. So if you remember from our first video when we talked about making bread, I shared with you this big old container I have. This currently has 2 25-pound bags of all-purpose flour. I go through flour like there's no tomorrow with all of my baking and things like that. So I like to have a huge amount of it on hand so I know I never run out. I also buy in bulk this plastic wrap. It has the sliding thing, which is also really easy to cut off. I cover my cooking and things like that in my dough as it's proofing with plastic wrap, so I like to have a bulk container of that as well. I also like to buy canola oil and things like that in bulk. Recently I've learned that we're not really supposed to eat canola oil because I heard something about it being not one of the best oils for us to eat, so I'm going to be doing a lot more research and learning as I go. So some of these things, they're things I'm purchasing now that I'm sharing with you now, but that could change. And this is an evolving process as we learn and grow. So just come along and we'll kind of share all that with you. Thank you for joining us today with this grocery haul. We really enjoyed sharing with you a little bit more of how it actually looks, because in our previous video we talked a lot about what we're doing, but now it's nice to kind of share with you how that actually looks week to week based on what we're purchasing. So hopefully in today's video you got to see some of the things that we're kind of using as ingredients to make all of the meals that we're preparing throughout the week. and how that would actually look in practice. The great thing is, now that ever since we've been doing this, we've been saving, I would say on average, at least $100 a week on groceries. So when you purchase things based on ingredients rather than prepared foods, it's actually way cheaper, even though I'm buying things in bulk and even though I'm freezing some of the meats and things like that I order, it still ends up being cheaper than what I was spending before, because I was spending a large amount on candy and cereals and chips and things like that I'm not purchasing anymore, and now I get to save that money and make it myself for a fraction of the cost. So not only is this good for your health, it's also really good for your pocketbook. So this has just all around been a great process. I'm really enjoying taking you guys along and continue to watch our story. Thanks so much. Catch us next time. Bye.